Hello, welcome. I'm not too sure how I'm actually trying to start or how this should play out. I'm also not too sure what the end result of this video or slash series is gonna be. But welcome everyone. My name is Julian and I am currently an SMMA agency owner, and I'm currently, thanks to a few videos including Tim Yoon, if you check out his YouTube channel, shout out to him. He's the person who kind of opened up this entire framework, this entire system to me, and I'm basically transforming my SMMA business into an IPGA model. If you're unsure what that basically is, I believe growth operator is something that sounds more familiar, but basically I am shifting the entire business philosophy of a standardized SMMA agency into an IPGA type agency. So without further ado, I'll basically run you guys through my current agency. It is not the best agency out there. I am also not the worst agency out there. We basically just started 3 months ago, and I will run through some numbers and also perhaps describe why I'm shifting towards a more of an IPGA model and why SMMA in general is quite a saturated business space. So without further ado, let's begin. So, let me just, there we go. Okay, so for the ones asking what my agency basically is, sorry, that's my phone. The agency is called Double Tap Asia, and we're basically located in Malaysia. And our emphasis, our specialty is actually to focus on TikTok. And so we have an entire video production crew, and we basically, I have no idea why it's not loading. Oh, there we go. We basically run video production for our clients, and we basically fill the vacuum of TikTok, and our specialty and focus is on TikTok, and that basically encompasses everything in terms of running, publishing videos on TikTok, as well as running ads and essentially optimizing it. There's literally no point showing my previous clients because I'll basically run through some of the current numbers we do. There we go. And also basically describe what we do in a nutshell. It's less important, I would say, to run through each specific component because honestly it's super uninteresting, but more interesting is the outlook for the future and why we will shift, or why I will specifically decide to shift to more of an IPGA model or growth operation model, which is also often known as growth partner model or has other forms of names for this. So these are currently the numbers we made. This is the last few months. Do bear in mind that these numbers are quite outdated. We had a few new clients on board. We also lost a few clients. So the numbers are not absolutely accurate, but take this as a basic average. So also to make this absolutely clear, because I am in Malaysia, if you see the dollar sign, it's actually in ringgit. So Malaysia ringgit is a currency from $1 is around 5 Malaysia ringgit. So if you see the total of 15,000, this is basically divided by 5, which is 3,000. Now, as I mentioned in the very beginning, we're not the best agency out there, but we literally just started, as you can see, December 2023, and now it's March, almost April 2024. So it's been 4 months, and we've been quite steady around these numbers, and we were doing quite well, essentially. So without further ado, let's shift towards IPJ and what it essentially means and why I believe that type of system is quite necessary when it comes to excuse me guys, 1 second, why it comes to our business model. And so again, shout out to Tim Yoon. I really love you. I thank the Lord, I thank God and the algorithm of YouTube to actually show me your YouTube videos. I was literally so new to the idea of growth operators and the entire IPGA niche, and Tim Yoon literally opened my eyes and with his knowledge and his sharing of his expertise, I was able to accumulate more knowledge of this particular niche, and I was able to literally refine my skills, especially in this niche. And now, don't get me wrong, SMMA, gosh, I always have troubles pronouncing this. SMMA is quite a saturated space. However, I'm still a fan that if you were to start a digital marketing agency 2024, you will have absolutely no problem as long as you have the right skills. Now, I had the mistake many years ago that I literally decided to, open social media marketing agencies. And for the ones who know me for quite some time now, I have opened a lot of businesses and I have shut down more. And that is essentially because my basic knowledge was, I would say, not sufficient enough. I knew how businesses work. I used to, put a lot of money into them. I used to make a lot of money out of them as well. But without a proper framework and without a proper system, it is essentially really hard to start any business. So if you ever want to start a business, I would definitely personally recommend for you guys to discover the frameworks that are absolutely necessary to start a business. I myself, I have a huge ego, so I love to literally start things blindly and, kind of learn stuff on the way. And obviously, gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, it is a philosophy that I still follow. But if you were to prepare yourself in a more efficient way to at least start a specific type of business, there's literally nothing wrong with accumulating as much as knowledge as you can prior to opening that specific business. Anyways, let's go away from that side talk or side conversation and let's stick to what's more important. So, what is IPGA and what is basically a growth operator? I have literally made an entire file of this, and I am obviously not gonna go through every single one, but my favorite thing is this, or the thing I'm most excited about this file is that I'm actually offering this for free, and as Eddie Cumberbatch does it as well, and other Alex Hormozi or other popular creators, providing free value, free information out there is absolutely a plus point, not only for the audience, but also for myself to establish some trust and to establish some validity, especially when it comes to a new niche or something that I'm basically unfamiliar with. So long story short, this file is on my Instagram bio. You guys can check this out. Throughout this entire series, I'm gonna take or make a lot of reference from this specific file and apply most of these concepts, as you guys can see, into my current business, and basically throughout this entire journey discover some of the ways that I can literally sharpen my skills and get better. So without further ado, let's begin. So what is IPGA and what is a growth operator? Now, in a nutshell, growth operators in the most modern sense and in the most modern used format is basically a person who partners up with influencers or digital creators to grow their accounts. Now, what that essentially means is that you grow their accounts through selling digital products online, and based on the most modern usage or the most modern utility of growth operators, it's really just info products. And I can tell you why info products is the preferred digital product sold online, and it's essentially because it makes the most profit. And now that is logically quite true, because if you think about it, info products is basically digital products you sell online with the utility of providing some new knowledge towards your audience. So in other words, you're not entertaining the audience per se, you're actually educating them on a particular topic which they obviously don't know much or would like to learn more about. And now that is, again, logically speaking, more effective than entertaining. However, I am on the plus point, I would say, if I put that correctly, I am on the plus point, believing that creators who entertain their audiences quite well in general make more views or more engagement when it comes to literally getting views on their social media pages. And if you find a way to create a framework as a growth operator to help out these entertainers per se, then I believe you have a huge opportunity to make a lot of money. But without further ado, let's get back to what's basically most important and what this video is essentially all about. So for this particular video, I am just gonna focus on the most important framework of IPGA or growth operator. Now, this type of framework is actually universal, and it is often quite standardized not only throughout most growth operating systems or growth operator systems, I guess you can put it that way, but this type of framework is literally applied to any type of business niche that is literally out there. So when we're talking about digital marketing, SMMA, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, even SaaS, and basically this entire MSP is the framework that growth operators use when they deal with their clients. So MSP, for this video and the sake of this video, I am gonna apply this system towards the current one of the clients that my current SMMA agency has, and I'm gonna make some refining and refining and some adjustments on one of our client, which you guys will probably see quite shortly. And I will basically guide throughout this entire series, throughout this entire journey, how this entire framework of MSP will basically shape and make the differences when it comes to that one particular client. So that one specific client where I'm going to introduce you guys shortly is a client that has been with us quite some time. We have established quite a nice relationship with them. They are basically an F&B restaurant in the heart of KL. KL's a city in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and they are basically a restaurant that's been existing not too long, actually, I believe within a year, and they sell all types of cuisines from Western to Asian, and now during this month of Ramadan they obviously also offer Ramadan meals. So shout out to Uno Cafe. The place is called Uno Cafe and Bistro. They have amazing owners which are cat lovers, and throughout this entire series we will probably touch on that particular aspect of the cat niche or cat food niche, if that's a thing, and we will basically do some, I would say, refining again, or some adjustments, some improvements, hooking on that particular angle. So without further ado, so Uno Cafe, as you guys can see, is basically this restaurant. They have Instagram, they have Facebook, they have TikTok. They got a lot of reviews, a lot of images. Okay, so I will basically explain what we've been doing for the last few months, and then to proceed or to progress, I will explain what we're gonna do throughout the next few months, or in other words, throughout the next few videos for this series. So let me just do a quick run through what we actually do for this particular client. Let me close this window. So as you can see, this is the TikTok account which we manage. We do post the videos on Meta as well, so on Instagram, Facebook as well. But our, again, main specialty for our agency is actually a TikTok agency, and hence why we kind of focus on the video side of it. So as you guys can see, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the last 10 videos were literally posted by us, and we did, I would say, quite a good job. So shout out to the video production team, and for them establishing really high content and high production videos. If my team is watching this, then I just want to say I love you guys, because without you guys none of this would be absolutely possible. And honestly, the work that you guys do is underpaid. Excuse me, that is the azan. Anyways, so yeah, that is some of the videos we do for our clients, and as you guys can see, they have the emphasis of cats, they have the emphasis of flamingo as well. And now let's go to more of the exciting parts. So what I'm going to do for the next few months forward is the following. Remember MSP, guys? I'll describe MSP, and then I'll take a particular content, most likely marketing for today, and then basically describe some of the areas which we could improve. So MSP, basically, in other words, is marketing, sales, and products. So that is literally the entire framework oversimplified. You have to understand every single component, and the better you get and the more sharper your skills and knowledge are for every single component throughout MSP, I promise you the more successful your agency or your growth operator becomes. And so, as long as you understand this framework, you can't do anything wrong, fundamentally speaking. But obviously, you always have to sharpen your skills and get better throughout this journey, sharpening each single component. So, let's get through the specifics. So, what is M? Before I go through each component, bear in mind that each order should follow this particular sequence. So you do have to go MSP, like quite literally M first, followed by S and then the P. So why is the order relevant? You guys will probably figure this out throughout this journey basically, but the order is absolutely important for now, and just remember this. So M is basically marketing. Now, marketing is literally nothing more than outreach. And what is outreach? Outreach is basically traffic, so where the entire audience gets attracted from. And again, so for our company, we would essentially have, oh Lord, TikTok. It is so hard, bear with me guys, to write with my mouse. TikTok. And this is where we focus on. And the reason, well, I wouldn't say the reason, but the problem with this is basically our agency just focus on one particular segment of the entire framework. We literally just focused on marketing, literally nothing more. And yes, sometimes it works. Some agencies, they implement all three, but our TikTok agency literally just focus on TikTok. And what I mentioned before, it was literally the videos, and then it was, oh my goodness, it was literally the videos, and then they were like posting and copywriting and, oh guys, I'm sorry, this is not gonna work. Posting, copywriting, and then launching of these posts on TikTok. And there was literally nothing more. We didn't run ads for them. We didn't do anything crazy in terms of sales, as you guys can see from S. And in terms of the product, the restaurant literally sells the product, so the food and the menu and basically whatever they sell in there. So, oh my god. So coming back, let's focus on M today. So this is where the first improvements or changes, let me just put a check. Some of the first improvements and changes we will make for our agency. So coming back to MSP, let's just focus on M today, so that later we can go through the other, and otherwise it will literally be too much. Anyways, so let's focus on M today. So the first problem I believe that our agency did was we literally narrowed down on TikTok. And yes, I realized that as well. And obviously initially when we decided to do this TikTok agency, we thought we were serving, you know, a narrow vacuum, a narrow space, or a narrow opportunity where a lot of people are not on TikTok. We thought that, you know, like, oh shit, TikTok's the new thing, nobody's on it, so let's do TikTok. No, that was, holistically speaking, perhaps not the right move. Yes, it was, you know, a good marketing strategy to capture, you know, different type of audiences, and perhaps we wouldn't clash with other well-established agencies out there with the fear of competitors. But holistically speaking, we need to expand M as much as possible. So that has to include Meta, TikTok, and Google. So these are probably the top three for now, but there are obviously other stuff like LinkedIn, and then there's Twitter, and then you guys can do some YouTube for the place. But the most important, and for me personally, what I believe that is quite effective for this restaurant for now, are these three types of avenues. So let's emphasize these avenues a little bit more. Okay, so if we go on Uno Cafe, these are the first few changes that I would absolutely do. So let's focus on one platform at a time. you see the entire framework I'm describing is literally MSP, and when you improve all the sub segments, so all the smaller components that make up each bigger component, then the entire formula will just improve. Like logically speaking, if you are able to fix the little, the little stuff that kind of, represent the entire department of M, then you will logically make the formula of MSP much more stronger, and therefore the results, or basically the revenue and the numbers your clients get, will in return get higher. Anyways, coming back to the topic. So the first few changes I will absolutely make is, let's look at M. So M is, sorry, I'm flabbergasted by the Google. So M again are the three stuff which we mentioned before. We have Instagram, Meta, TikTok, and Google. So we were on TikTok previously, and there is not much changes I would do for their TikTok account as of now, and that is literally because we've been working on the TikTok for quite some time now, and we have specialized their TikTok quite well. Obviously, we can run some ads, or run some engagement campaigns to entice this a little bit more, but let's focus on more opportunities in where we could leverage the M. So TikTok aside, let's look at Google, because Google is something quite interesting, and Google is something I've realized quite recently. So the first few areas which you guys can absolutely look at is the Google reviews. And Google reviews, I cannot emphasize this anymore, but Google reviews are so important, and this is something I've learned recently. Shout out to Alex Ramosi, who kind of emphasized this many times, but the entire idea of social proof is so important for enticing customers. It's literally one of the most crucial factors when it comes to sales. And now if you look at Google reviews, they literally have 16 reviews. Oh, there we go, that's one of us. They literally have 16 reviews. And the idea here is to literally, oh gosh, the idea here is literally to increase the social reviews, and photos are tremendously much more effective. As you guys can see, I've done it quite here, but and one thing they've done quite well is also the bad reviews, reply them as well. And as you can see, the restaurant did this quite nicely too. So replying them professionally shows that you're quite interested or very interested in your customers, and as a restaurant owner, or in the perspective of a restaurant, you would like to care more about the customers and basically satisfy their complaints by providing them solutions directly or as soon as possible. And this restaurant has been doing this quite well, but there are more improvements I would love to do in terms of the reviews. And the reason why I literally looked at reviews first was literally, as mentioned before, the idea of social proof. So this is absolutely most important, and if there are the first few changes I would make, it is the reviews of the restaurant. So I will basically blast this towards the entire crew to ask them to make more reviews, so that we literally get more reviews for the restaurants. And not only is it good for social proof, but in terms of SEO and for Google's algorithm, we will be shown on Google much effectively, I guess, or more often, in other words. So next, what would I look at next? So I would look at the photos. And now this is something that I've literally been doing, or I have done a few days ago, was I literally optimize the photos. Unfortunately on Google, and I tried this, do comment that if I'm wrong, or if there's a way to do this, to change the photos, because and by change the photos, I mean remove some photos that are like not so appealing. So as you guys can see, and here's the thing, is usually the photos from other people or other customers, like this one, like the quality is just not so good. So I'm not too sure if we're able to remove those, but I would love to just keep the nice photos, as you can see, by owner, where literally just shows the food quite nice. Oh, this looks looks so delicious. Yeah, and as you can see, a little bit of the interior, the exterior, and I don't know if Google has a possibilities where I could manually rearrange the photos in a way where I would show the restaurant first, the food, and then the interior. I would absolutely love to do so. So if you guys know if there's a way to do it, please let me know. Then I can make some changes. Now more to M. When it comes to Google, there are essentially Google Ads, which you guys can run. Where is Google Ads? Over here, Google Ads. But there is not much, I would say, that you could maximize in terms of Google. Yes, SEO is absolutely important, but as you guys can see, excuse me. Wow, so much air. In terms of the SEO, they're doing quite well because as you guys can see, they literally appear the moment you Google their name. Obviously, if you type Western restaurant, you know, maybe it's not gonna appear right away, but perhaps this would be a possibility to, you know, put the money inside or to increase the M value for Google. Next, what did we have? So TikTok, Google, Meta, now Meta, Instagram. Ooh, okay, so this is Double Tap Asia. Shout out to us. Oh, that is me. Wow, it's the first thing that appeared. Anyways, let's go to Uno. So as you guys can see, this is their Instagram page, and there are so many specific improvements that I would love to make here, and it is essentially the most important is obviously engagement. This engagement looks so low. I love to emphasize this. In fact, there is a great video from Alex Hormozy that talks about social proof. Actually, hold on. There's a better video, and it's not Alex Hormozy. It is one second, guys. Bear with me. I need to go to the playlist. Okay. This is an absolute amazing, crazy video, and this is literally any one of these. So Simon I'm so sorry, bro. I literally cannot pronounce your name. But basically, this YouTuber Simon, shut up. So this Simon basically breaks down funnels, and this is so crazy because if you understand basically how funnels work, funnels is when you go back to the system, actually sales, but the point I'm trying to make here is if you understand how funnels work, you will realize why social proof is absolutely important and why having a low engagement is, I would say, not so powerful. And there are a few important aspects for you guys to realize, and the first thing is social proof attracts the idea of FOMO, or in other words, monkey see, monkey do. Shout out to a friend who has basically put that in nice words. But monkey see, monkey do is if you have a high engagement or following count, other people will be like, hang on, this restaurant has a lot of followers. Why is that so? And I want to know why. So it kind of entices the idea with FOMO also. So FOMO is basically fear of missing out. And in other words, or in simpler words, is people are attracted to what other people do. And if the engagement is quite high, as you guys can see, the engagement is not so high, then people will essentially be more attracted. I'm not going to specifically break down how you can increase your engagement, but literally you have to be consistent with your posting, and running an engagement campaign is a personal recommender which you should include. So we're still at M, guys. Bear with me. It's been how long? 30 minutes. Lord. So, first things first, look at the profile picture. Now, if you are a growth operator, whether it's a company or whether it's a creator, the most important, and it's literally describing your first impression, just like in real life, your first impression is the most important impression. If your profile picture is not optimized, if it looks poor or the quality is bad or it's, an ugly photo of your creator, I mean, logically, guys, it's not gonna work. You have to use a super amazing profile picture. And if you're working with companies, if you were applying this growth operating system for companies, realize that a logo is just fine. So have a nice simple logo of the company with a powerful background. I would enlarge this a little bit, but altogether it's quite nice. Next, the bio. So bio is absolutely important. I don't know who optimized their bio, but I would never put a company registration number. But anyways, what they did correctly was they put their address, so for people to basically reach out, and and they also described, not so well, but they describe what type of business niche they are. So savor a diverse culinary journey. So that basically means that they are a restaurant, but I would kind of change it. I would use maybe much nicer words to describe perhaps what type of cuisine they offer. Moments, ambience, reviews. So reviews, and I cannot emphasize this more, but reviews, I have to optimize this, and this falls back to social proof, but this area I need to have bombarded. So I don't know how many videos you can have on highlights, on reels, but I would explode this entire section. I would literally make 50 reviews. So from now on, every single person who comes to the restaurant needs to do a fucking review. And moments, I'm not too sure what moments means. I believe moments is mentioned by by events. But if it is events, I would, okay, sure, just keep this on. But why is it only 2 photos? Anyways, ambience. Okay, this has to be changed. Like, if it's the ambience, I would maybe focus on cats. Like that video, literally. I would just focus on cats and just like bombarding this section with cats. And I will get perhaps into a separate video why cats and why that particular selling point. But for this specific highlight, I would absolutely explode this highlight with cats. And this is quite nice. Pin the menu, that is also quite good. As you can see, some of our reels to showcase the food. And this all, gentlemen, this all boils down still to M. So as you guys can see, this entire framework is so huge. And yes, I oversimplified it earlier, but you have to do the digging. You have to put so much effort to fix every single specific component of this framework. And now obviously some clients, some restaurants, some influencers, some creators, their framework, their MSP is perhaps more established. Maybe they have good marketing, or maybe they have good content, maybe they have here at sales, they have good click funnels, they have good VSLs, or perhaps the product, their infographic is quite good, or the menus or the products they sell is quite well as well. So some creators, obviously it depends on the client, on the creator you're servicing, and that's why that is, and hence why this is so important to choose the right creator, or in other words, the right client. And literally, if you guys want to be a growth operator, there's so much possibility for you to make money. But guys, don't fuck it up by choosing a creator who's literally hopeless. Like, just because he's your friend, or just because he has a lot of followers, these stuff are so delusional, guys. Like, literally make some deep analysis, like how I'm currently doing with our client, and literally seek out if there's so much potential to improve, and literally think for yourself whether that improvement is an investment for you to make, so that you and your client literally make so much more money out of it. But if he's literally a duck in the sea and there's not much, hope to, make changes for him, then literally why help him? What's the point? So I hope this video literally helped you guys. Throughout the series, I will be digging down more specifically some of the changes for Uno Cafe, but as you guys can see, we are still on M, so I will make it my next objectives / tasks to improve the M part. But in my personal opinion, the biggest issue is S, but with all respect, I have to follow the sequence. So once I basically optimize M, then I will shift on what I believe is the biggest issue with the client, with the restaurant, and it is sales. But that will probably be for another video. So hope you guys enjoyed. If this kind of helped you in some way, if this inspires you to help other clients by implementing a similar framework, then I'm absolutely happy. My personal mission is to literally help one viewer. Even if I don't get a lot of views, if I help one person out there, then I feel like my job has been done. So anyways, without further ado, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon.